All right, let's dive into 3 so-called biological glitches. At first, they seem to make absolutely no sense, but they're actually some of nature's most bizarre and frankly brilliant solutions to the challenges of survival.
So, what happens when biology just seems to break its own rules? Well, as we're about to see, what looks like a mistake is often an incredibly clever and highly specialized adaptation. Let's start with our first puzzle.
For this one, we're heading to Australia to talk about a creature that's mastered a truly unique form of engineering, the wombat. It's known for a lot of things, but one of its habits is so strange it honestly sounds like a made-up fact.
No, you heard that right. How, and more importantly, why does an animal produce poop that's shaped like a cube? Wombats are the only animal in the entire world known to do this, but there has to be a reason, right?
Okay, so this isn't random at all. It's an amazing piece of evolutionary design. See, wombats use their droppings to mark their territory. And since they often leave these markers on rocks or logs, round droppings would just roll right off. But cubes stay put. The real magic happens in the last little stretch of their intestine, where the walls have different levels of elasticity, which molds the material into perfect cubes right before, well, you know. It's an unbelievably practical solution to a very real problem.
And that just perfectly illustrates our whole theme here. What seems like a total biological absurdity is actually a masterclass in physics and function. It's natural engineering at its absolute weirdest, and you gotta admit, it's most wonderful.
Let's move from the land down under to the deep ocean for our next puzzle. We're looking at an animal that's already famous for being super smart and kind of alien-like, but believe me, its internal mechanics are even stranger than its appearance. Yep, 3. Not 1, not 2, but 3 hearts. And this isn't just a cool trivia fact, it's absolutely essential to understanding how these creatures actually live. So what on earth does each one do?
So the workload is split up. 2 of the hearts, they call them the branchial hearts, they have one very specific job: pump blood through the gills to grab oxygen from the water. Then, the third, bigger, systemic heart takes over and circulates all that oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. It's a super specialized system, but it has a very curious flaw.
And here is the glitch. Whenever an octopus swims, its main systemic heart just stops beating completely. This makes swimming incredibly tiring for them, which is exactly why you'll almost always see an octopus crawling along the seafloor instead. It's this fascinating trade-off. A really powerful circulatory system for mostly stationary life, but one that makes moving fast absolutely exhausting.
Now for our final case file. We're exploring a concept that has fascinated humanity forever: immortality. I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but for one tiny creature, it is a biological reality.
I want you to meet the Turritopsis dohrnii, better known as the Immortal Jellyfish. This tiny little animal has a superpower that completely defies the laws of aging. Through a process called transdifferentiation, it can take its adult cells and revert them all the way back to their earliest stage. It's literally hitting the reset button on its own life cycle. So how does this even work? Well, when the adult jellyfish gets old or injured or stressed out, it sinks down to the ocean floor. There, its body kind of folds in on itself, and its cells just transform, turning back the clock until it becomes a polyp again, which is the baby stage of jellyfish life. And from that polyp, a new, genetically identical jellyfish will eventually grow.
This analogy really helps put it into perspective. Just imagine a frog deciding, you know what, I'm tired of being a frog, and then just turning back into a tadpole to start its life all over again. That's the sheer scale of what this tiny jellyfish is capable of. It's an almost unbelievable feat of biology.
But here's the catch. While it is biologically immortal, it is not invincible. It can still be eaten by a predator or die from a disease. In theory, though, if it's left completely unharmed, it could repeat its life cycle forever. A biological glitch that challenges the very meaning of death.
So, from cubic poop to immortal jellyfish, what have we learned here? We've seen that what we might call a glitch is often something way more profound. Each one of these biological oddities is in fact evolution's hidden logic just doing its thing. The wombat's cube isn't a mistake, it's a stable marker. The octopus's hearts aren't inefficient, they're perfectly designed for a life of crawling and waiting. And the jellyfish's immortality? That's not a glitch, it's the ultimate survival strategy. These aren't errors in the code of life, they are brilliant, highly targeted solutions. And these are just 3 examples from the millions of species on our planet. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other impossible solutions are still out there hiding in nature, just waiting for us to discover them?